Narcissist. Seduction. Episode 3. Hi, how are you? Kiss. Wynne was sat at his desk working through some targets on his computer when her text arrived. It was nearly 2 weeks since their last exchange. He had heard nothing more prior to her departure for Spain, and therefore reasoned that she had lost interest. He was not bothered. He did find himself considering what she might look like in a bikini on a couple of occasions, as his mind wandered during dull meetings, but beyond that, he gave her no more thought. Wynne smiled. She was back again. All good, thanks. How was the holiday? Good, thanks. I missed you. How could she miss him? She hadn't seen him. Wynne toyed with typing this sentiment when another message came through from Ashley. I thought you had lost interest. No. I felt stupid asking to see you, and you weren't interested. I never said that I wasn't interested. I thought I made a fool of myself. No, not at all. What was she talking about? Wynne was puzzled. He scrolled back up the exchange of messages to revisit their conversation prior to her holiday. It was as he thought. He hadn't written anything that would give her the impression that he wasn't interested. No, I suggested coming to see you on the Sunday. You said it was difficult. I said I was flexible and left it up to you as to when we might see one another. I didn't say anything that showed that I'd lost interest. I thought you had. No. Thought you didn't want me. I repeat the above. So you want to see me? Yes. When? When can you? I'm busy with meetings, having just come back from holiday. Understandable. What about next Monday? I can leave work a little earlier and we could meet up. You choose where. Monday suits me. What time? 4 o'clock. Fine. Think of where we can meet. I will. Good. Got to go. Okay. Yet again, the exchange was always punctuated by a kiss on the end. Wynne placed the phone on his desk. Less than a week and they would meet. This was not going to be some polite catch-up between friends, or a discussion about work and opportunities. No, it was clear that she wanted more, and he was happy to take advantage of that situation. Why not? She had made her feelings plain. He was pushing on an open door. He considered where they might meet. It was plain that there would be intimacy between them, although just how far that might go was very much an unknown factor. He needed to find the right stage. Meeting at a hotel or a travel-inn would seem too presumptuous. They couldn't meet in the city centre either. He had no concern about them being seen together, and nor would she. They were, after all, friends and former colleagues. If, however, he wanted to kiss her, the city centre wouldn't do. He smiled at this thought. If he wanted to kiss her. He knew he would. There might be more besides, although he wouldn't press for that. He was in no rush, and liked to think that he was a gentleman. No, kissing her would suffice. It needed to be out of the way, somewhere where they could talk, but with an opportunity for them to embrace. He considered the coast. The rugged and expansive coastline would be deserted on an autumnal afternoon. It would certainly make for a dramatic setting, and would form an excellent backdrop to their first kiss. The downside was distance. He sensed she could not be back late. At home, presumably questions would be asked. Accordingly, the further away they went, the less time they would have available. It needed to be close to the city so they could reach it easily enough, yet with a degree of seclusion. Wynne picked up his pen and tapped it on the desk as he ran through different locations in his mind, striking out from the city in all directions of the compass. They were both based in the city centre, about a mile away from one another, her to the west, he to the southeast, but it was fairly easy to reach the city's main arterial routes and be on their way. She lived to the south, and he thought in order to save her some time on her journey home, meeting somewhere in that direction would be advantageous, but nothing sprang to mind. More often, the locations which seemed most promising were either to the northeast and the isolated coastline, or into the river valley to the west. He pulled his keyboard towards him and accessed the internet. He pulled up a map of the city and its environs and stared at the screen, eyes flicking across the picture. He would identify a location, consider it, and then reject it. Was he being too picky? He didn't want to dally with the task she had set him. He wanted to demonstrate decisiveness. That would appeal to her, no doubt. He looked northwards from the city centre, following one of the main routes out of the city, and then he saw the cluster of green on the northern edge. That was the place. He pointed his pen at the expanse of green and nodded. Perfect.